Hello, fellow Gemini, because I am one as well. This is the tarot reading for Gemini for the full moon, Halloween, October 31st through November 15th. Excuse me. Kind of in a state of limbo for some of us, maybe, or maybe we've had a decision on our minds. What's going on here? Seems like unsure. Wanting to like really grow something and put effort into something, but not really sure if it's going to be worth it, or just I feel a lot of indecisiveness, which, sorry, hit the desk, which is typical for Gemini. Don't I know it? Okay, so we are definitely losing our sense of focus right now, Gemini. We need to get ourselves more aligned. It's not that we're not paying enough attention. We got too much on our minds, okay? So it's about soliciting the focus. Is that the right word? Narrowing down your focus into more of what you want, and also like believing in yourself. There's a little bit of that at play. Yeah, it's like you either want to be passionate with your creation, your creativity, or your side projects, or your hobbies, or your love life, maybe, or it's like you don't believe in yourself, or you're afraid to express something. But you always don't forget, though, Gemini, that we have agile minds and that we can turn away or embark on a new thought even very quickly. I don't know if it's going to show or if it's coming up, but Ace of Feathers, the wind suit, air suit, Ace of Acorns. Yeah, don't. What this message is telling me is, okay, so Gemini, we are excellent at being able to change our thoughts very rapidly. We have fast moving thoughts in mind. That, it's saying, is a blessing to us in the sense of that's going to lead us more towards the direction of what we are actually passionate about, and that's going to give us an idea of where we might want to go. So remember that you have flexibility of mind, and that follow some of those instincts. If they, if they catch your attention, see where they might go, even if just in your mind, and see how that makes you feel. And you'll know, like, within a very short amount of time, if that's a path that's going to take you something. This is 10 of Acorns, it's a horse. That's going to take you something to the end. I feel like, though, you're giving a lot of. You do feel like you've been through a lot, and you're almost like downtrodden. So you might be afraid that the decisions you make, or if you go a certain way, might lead you to some heaviness, or like to this like path that you can't dig yourself out of. And I don't see that happening. No, the world is at your fingertips. The world card came out. What is the animal in this? Blue whale. Or no, that's a sperm whale, it looks like. But that's beautiful. The world. The world is your oyster, and you are like this whale in the ocean, and you can go wherever you want. Okay? So stop thinking that you are headed down this path of inevitable heaviness and burdens and things like of that nature, or maybe you're afraid that you're going to be bogged down by what other people want too much, or other people's rules. And that's kind of, I think, fogging your mind a little bit. And if you just remember that you have the world at your fingertips, whether you believe that or not, it's definitely coming. Yeah. It might feel like things are not in your favor right now, but it's just the way that you're looking at it. It's upside down. All you have to do is turn it around, and suddenly the wheel is in your favor. So it's all about how you look at things. I can look at it as if things are going against me, but is that true? If you really stop and think about it, Gemini, is that really true? And even if it were true, don't you know how smart and adaptive and witty you are to get out of something like that? So stop being afraid that the way you're going down is going to be like entrenched in all these other things. You are a mastermind. Like, you know exactly how to maneuver with conversation, with travel, with plans of action. Um, you know what you're doing, okay? So you have a mastermind. You don't have to worry about like where things are going to go. I think that you're involved with too many other people, like you're thinking about what's going on with other people too much. I know that's true for me. So what this is telling me though is that you are the mastermind and you don't really have to like the more you focus on yourself and your own mastery of thought and like decision making, and you know how intellectual you are. You know that if you wanted to, the world would be yours. You know you want to travel, and you know you want to do these things some more or start them. So you know that you're capable of them. It's only your mind that's bogging things down. So really, like the burdens and the heaviness, the things that you're afraid or that you're going towards that might bring that, or the only thing that's bringing that is your belief in that it's like inevitable. Like the way you're focused on it is actually the only burdens that you're creating, and if you stop doing that, you're not going to create any burdens, because those burdens in the future that you're probably sensitive of are only there because you are looking down that pathway of potential future. And if you kind of just, veer a little bit more towards where you want to go and less about like where you think things are going to go all the time, because we like to be very analytical. Ask yourself throughout the 31st through November 15th, anytime you stop and think about it and can remember, where do I want to be going? What direction do I want to be going in? What do I want? As Gemini, we get lost. This has been very true for me. Get lost in the worlds of other people, and bending and understanding other people, adapting to other people, emulating other people's behaviors. Those are all very Gemini characteristics. Pleasing other people, ahead of the self. And that is going to, yeah, there's a lot of darkness that you're aware of, and you can use an outlet of writing to get that out, whether that's journaling. I do poetry myself and things. So if it's creative writing, if it's fictional writing, if it's like even like something like video games, if you like to do that, playing board games, something like more strategic or like riddle puzzle-y, something that can really get your juices going, because like you need to work yourself out of this. It's almost like a backwards look at their past, because I feel like all this heaviness really doesn't seem to be present. It's only present because you're fixated on it or worried that it's going to stay present or continue to carry into the future, or that the future is going to bring more or something, some kind of crazy new burdens. But all of that I feel like is not true, and it's just only true because you're thinking about it. And that's why it feels so bad when you think about that and you feel those things and you think, oh no, I'm headed towards this path that might swallow me whole or like collapse on me. That's not true. Your powerful mind is considering all the options, and you might be taking one option way too far or multiple options way too far, and that's not where you're supposed to go. So it's making you feel off course. So don't go that way. It's very simple. Or if you know which way to go and you're preventing yourself, then take your time and just go that way. It's very simple. Anything else for Gemini from this deck? This has been a very quick reading. I feel like it might be close to being over. I don't know. Excuse me. I'm not really feeling much else from there. Maybe this one. Okay. Gemini, you think that you have to go through all this pain in order to get to beauty and to what you want and the passions that you desire and happiness, but you don't. And you also feel like you've been through so much already, and you have. So like, get over it. Get over it. You've already climbed that mountain. The only thing that's bothering you is that you keep like looking to the past, or like your mind is taking you to these places that you don't belong. Okay? I need to go back and watch this because I think I could really use a lot of this advice. So, it's like you feel like you have to go through all these trials and tribulations and hardships in order to get to the exact place in creation, the beautiful gem that you're wanting to find at the base of the mountain. But that's not true. you do not have to suffer in order to get abundance, in order to be successful and to be happy and fulfilled, and to get it is what you desire, whether it's an object or probably a person, um, or like a job, or like where you see yourself like going. Like you want something for yourself really bad, and you feel like you have to go through all this hardship in order to get it, and you feel like, well, I've already been through all this hardship. Why do I? But it's like it seems like you feel like it's never going to come together. Like the more you try to get to it, the more hardship you have, and it's like pushes it away because you're making things difficult on yourself. Okay, I really need to go back and listen to this myself. You're making this difficult on yourself by trying to make it a hard journey when it doesn't need to be a hard journey. And in fact, you've already been on the hard journey, and I think you may be expecting that it's going to be a hard journey because of the past or whatever else. But you are, and even if it is a difficult or let's say long journey, you're mostly through it, if not all the way through it already, probably all the way through it, so it doesn't even matter. But you know how to climb the mountain. Like you're very intuitive, and you know what to spot, and instinctively where to go, and what places are the safest. And like if it starts to storm, I think you would know where to go intuitively, more so than maybe other people, potentially more probability of following that intuition. Like you have this adventure in you, and I think that you are getting weighed down by how that's going to look and what that building is going to be like. I think you're focused way too much on the building and the path itself, when if you just remember that you're very agile and you could climb a mountain with great ease if you really wanted to, and then you would find your gem. And then there's also something here. You've actually kind of, I feel like, even if there's a lot of hardship or something difficult to go through, you can do it. But I feel like it's already been done. Like the kind of hard part of the journey is over, and like this man is already in the mountain. I'm getting the feeling that you are already in the mountain, and so all you have to do is really turn around and go inside, and you'll find the gem. It's like 6 feet behind you, within reach. So like you've already done the work. So let the gem show itself to you. I feel like there might be more. Should I get a different deck? Or what's here? Interesting. Let's leave that out. Excuse me. That's kind of relevant too. I'll use this to help me because I feel like there's something more to be said. And we still have some time before the end of the video, so let's see here what we can't accomplish with a little help from our crystal friends. Okay. Keep pace with the earth. This really draws me to the mountain card. Keep pace with the earth. Follow the natural rhythms of the earth. And of course that means literally, but it's like, think about what that means, like to be sensitive and keenly aware of the patterns and rhythms of nature, and how, if you remember how agile you are, it should be really easy to imagine for you as a Gemini, how easily I mean, we are good learners, like we like to learn, very curious, very adaptive. So think about all the ways in which one could keep pace with the earth. What does that even mean? Does it mean like dancing with the earth? Does that mean following the river? Does that mean following your adventurous spirit and going on a hike and doing whatever it is you feel, kind of thing? Keep pace with the earth and keep checking in with yourself. Check in with your body. I mean, this is a full moon in Taurus, so this is going to be an excellent time for us to think about self-care. I know I already have been. So let's just keep focusing on self-care, taking good care of ourselves. Go get a massage. I mean, that's probably going to be a message for a lot of people because this is full moon in Taurus time. Take care of yourself, and don't be afraid to like nurture yourself and pamper yourself. Keep pace with the earth, because that can be like a hardship. Like this is from the chapter work in Khalil Gibran's The Prophet. So it could be like if you kept pace with the earth in a negative attitude, you might be downtrodden, or like you might be overworking yourself, or you might feel bogged down by work, or maybe attention from people, or expectations from people. But if you keep pace with the earth and its natural rhythms, you will find that the nature and the environment in the forest will always whisper to you where it is the safest and for you to go if there's a storm, or where's the beauty if you're like going out on an adventure. If you listen to the forest, it will guide you to what you're looking for. And if you pay attention to the subtle signs, this is from the chapter Reason and Passion. So I feel like this has to do with Gemini mind, because that's a lot that Gemini have to do with, is the mind. Exalt your reason to the height of passion. So this to me is telling me, like what I was saying earlier, let's try to get out of our heads some, because we're really in our heads a lot, which that's where we always are as Gemini. But let go of like all these thoughts about all the things, and remember and go back to your passion. So take your reason away from what you're observing, and remember, what do I like I'm passionate about? What do I like to explore that I'm passionate about? What are things I like to learn? Let's keep learning some things that I've picked up before. Also, something that's interesting about this is these are 11 and 22 in this deck, so that's really powerful. To me, that would suggest that you have always been putting your I would say you've been like closed off about your own needs for a while, and like you've been paying more attention to the people around you. But now that you've been finding that you do have a natural rhythm and you do have this innate sense of where to go and what to do for yourself, I think that you have been discovering that probably, or you're about to, or you're in the process of that, or this reminds you of something along those lines. And just keep following your path, because the more like you nurture yourself and take time for yourself and maybe meditate, um, try to like take your mind off things during this period, because your mind is going to be on a lot. All right, and that's kind of your problem right now, is what's causing all these things that don't feel good within you, and all these worries and things, places that you might be headed towards that you might be worried about. So you're on the right path. You are already like, maybe you judge yourself with how you like treat other people, or what you do for other people, what you bring to the table for other people. But deep down, you know that you're really great with people and that you bring a lot to people. So stop beating up on yourself. Keep remembering, like, humanity is as much like society and like communication and friendship and all of that that Gemini love, travel. That's all great, but like you have to remember that also that applies to yourself too, and you need to remember to be friends with yourself too. And it's fine to be paying attention to a lot of other people and making friends, as we like to do, but also come back to the friendship with yourself, because that's very important. And when you do take the time to look at yourself and nurture and keep nurturing not only your comfort and relaxation and taking care of yourself, but really glorifying yourself and realizing what kind of wonderful person you are to yourself, because maybe you always haven't been. And that's going to lead you to even more outreaching and networking and ability to, through whether it's your passion or whatever, but it's just going to put you into this place where you're even more easily going to be able to connect with people. It's going to enhance your relationships the more that you focus on the relationship with yourself. I think that we are hyper aware, Gemini, and we tend to know ourselves pretty well. And I think that we also get caught up in the fact that we think we know ourselves too well, and then we also forget that we don't always check in with ourselves either often enough. And we think that we do because our mind is always on things and other people and scenarios, and our personalities can shift a lot. So I think that we think that we're more in tune with ourselves, not to say that we aren't, because we are. But I think we think more of the time that we are more often than that we actually are. And that I think it becomes easy to become, for us to become moldable to other people. And so while you are taking on something from someone else and molding into that, whether you realize it or not, sometimes we do, sometimes we don't realize it. It doesn't matter. And if at any point you do realize it, it doesn't matter, because you're taking on too much from other people, and what's going on is it's staying in the mind, and you're making it makes it feel like it's you. So let's take some time during these next few weeks, Gemini, I think about, is this how I'm feeling, or am I picking up or adapting to someone else's behavior, or doing something that I think is expected of me from someone else? Excuse me. It's like I had something in my throat. You're you're afraid of the treasure in the mountain. I relate to that. I certainly am. You want it more than anything. You're headed towards it. You're almost there. You're practically there. You've reached the end of the journey, really, in terms of getting all the things you want for yourself, whether those are things, career, partner, whatever it is. Um, but it seems to me like you're afraid that you're not going to have the success with it, that you're not going to have the wealth or let's say you're hopeful about a relationship, but you don't think it's going to be fulfilling. You're hopeful about a job, but you don't think it's going to be fulfilling or pay enough. You have all these fears about turning the end of your journey into the full fulfillment. It's like you want that more than anything, but you feel like it's not going to come. So I don't know if that's because of a long-term pattern or what, or you think everyone else deserves something but you don't, but you do. And for whatever reason, you don't believe it. And it's important to know, though, that on this card, not only is the wealth and prosperity guaranteed for you and practice it's at your door, we have here the crocodile, who is a very enduring creature and can put up through some really extreme conditions and survive extreme conditions. I think the crocodile has a negative connotation attributed to it when really it's one of the most enduring, beautiful creatures out there because it really goes through a lot of the grimiest places of the earth, really, almost. One of the grimiest environments, and it has tough skin. So don't forget that you too have tough skin. As flighty as we can be, Gemini, and our minds go everywhere, and we're like, oh, we love to be charming. We forget that we have tough skin, and this is an earth sign, 10 of crystals. We are not always, depending on your birth chart, but we're not always the most grounded of the signs. So, and typically not. So, this is a very grounded, full, earthy card. So don't be afraid of that. I know, like, we want more than anything this mountain full of treasure, and it's ours, and we're actually already in the mountain. If we just turn around, it would be right there for us in a pile of it. And I think we're afraid to turn around. I really do. I think that speaks to me anyway, personally, but hopefully it does for you. Hopefully something resonates. I think it will. You're also afraid of romance, or you're afraid that someone's not being genuine to you or giving you enough affection or being genuine in their affection or what they say. I feel like that's just an insecurity coming from you, though, because I feel like that person is there for you. And you're kind of taking this alligator approach, like, I'm just going to go through the swamp by myself, and I don't think I'm ever going to get what I want. It's like this dark, creepy place. But if you think about it, the alligator is almost like the king of the swamp, like king of the jungle kind of vibes. Very enduring creature. And trust the way you feel too. I feel like you're insecure about the way you feel, and maybe that's because your mind's all over the place, and you think that it could go this way, this way, this way. I didn't say anything about what you were thinking. I said pay attention to what you feel, because what you feel is not just valid, but insightful, but it's a good word. You are, especially now in your life, and through this full moon, maybe this is going to be coming up for you and you'll be seeing it more. Maybe not right now, but maybe, and maybe around the 31st, I feel like it's going to be coming into your awareness. You have a solid foundation of emotions, no matter whether you agree with that or not, you do. And like you can trust how you feel. Um, I think that we get bogged down by our thoughts and then we don't feel so good. So, like, take a step back, meditate, and then think about how you feel, because your feelings are going to guide you, just like this crocodile here. Instinct. He knows exactly what to do, and he's not afraid. That's another key important. We have been afraid, and we don't need to be. What is there to fear? Not much. You've really done a lot to build yourself up, so put all that good work to use and feel good about yourself, and also pay attention to those feelings and realize that you're a well-balanced person. The seahorse, the male seahorse, carries the children. So this is like a very balanced energy, especially for Gemini, being the twins and the multiple sides. That I'm getting like the yin yang. This is kind of the feeling I'm getting from this card as well. So you have an insanely emotionally intuitive spirit about you. So put that to good use. It's okay to be in your mind all the time, but remember that you also have a really incredible guidance system too. And that if you get too lost in all your thoughts, it will lead you away from that. And but you're headed towards everything that you've been wanting, and you're building that, and you know that. You're just afraid that it's not going to come, or that when it comes, it's not going to be, you're going to be let down, it's not going to be what you're expecting. All of those are simply thoughts and fears that really don't exist except in your mind. So stop taking those into the future so far, and step back, meditate, and remember, how do I feel? Ending here. You've got nothing but love coming for you. Nothing but love. So as long as you let go and trust yourself, study the emotions in other people, study the emotions in yourself. You're very intuitive, intelligent, intellectual sign. Take the time to study your own emotions, because I feel like your beliefs about your emotions and like maybe the thoughts are getting in the way, are kind of blocking the fullness of love that's coming your way, whether that's a new person or reaching new heights within the relationship that you're currently in. More often than not, it's probably going to be a new person or an additional person. So remember that the more you trust yourself, those feelings of love are going to come naturally to you, and then you won't be judging them as much if you trust yourself more, and so they won't be feeling so weird. And don't be afraid to reach for the stars. This is the star card. It's the swan, another lover symbol. Don't be afraid to reach for the fullest of your potential, because you've earned it and you deserve it. Why wouldn't you? Go for the highest possibility. Do not settle. Whatever you do, even if it takes longer, reach that star. See that star, go for it. You can have your mind on all that kind of thing, but remember, come back to your own mind and be like, wait, star. I'm headed to that one, not all the other stars. I can see them, that's fine, but that star, that bright one, that brightest one, that's the one I'm headed towards. And don't lose sight of that, and you'll be successful. So remember that around the Halloween time, things might be bumpy at first, but keep following them, follow your path, and have a beeline sight on that, and do not let go. And you will be successful. You will, really, no matter what, you will be successful, but it will be an easier journey for you if you just trust and follow that star that you're wanting to get to. Take that village, take that leap, that village, that pilgrimage, journey, voyage, I guess is what I was trying to say. Take that journey, take that leap, go for it. Go for it. That was the same kind of message for Aries too, with their project or whatever. Just go for it. Go for that journey that you're looking for. And really, it's a specific journey. It's not just any kind of journey for us. For Gemini, it's like, I want it all. And you're allowed to have it all, no matter who's told you what, or what thoughts you have that tell you you're wrong. You're not. You can have it all. Go for all of it. Go for everything that you want. Don't let anything hold you back. All right? I can't wait to listen to this because it's so applicable to me. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.